Hello guys, gals and non-binary pals, welcome back to Lotusbloom Gaming after a very long hiatus. And I thought we'd come back with Aetherdrift and the commander deck, Eternal Might, and sort out some upgrades for the deck. So, getting us in, we have two commanders, Temet Nakatuman's Will, 2 white, blue, black for a zombie wizard 4/4 with vigilance and menace. Whenever you attack, draw a card, then discard a card. Whenever you draw a card, zombies you control get +1/+1 to end of turn. And then my favourite one, Hashiton Scarab's Fist, a white and a black for a zombie wizard 1/3. Whenever you discard a creature card, pay 2 and a white. If you do, create a tap token that's a copy of that card, except as a 4/4 black zombie. So we've got some budget options. All of these are very, very cheap. All looking at Card Market and the lowest that I can buy them for currently on the secondary market. Diagraph Captain, 1 blue black for a 2/2 Death Touch. Zombie Lord, every zombie other than itself gets +1/+1 that you own. And whenever another zombie you control dies, target opponent loses a life. Dying to Serve is an enchantment for 2 and a black. Whenever you discard 1 or more cards, create a 2/2 tapped. It's not even tapped, is it? It's a black zombie creature token, but it only triggers once a turn. Rooftop Storm is 5 and a blue for an enchantment. You can pay 0 rather than the mana cost for zombie spells that we cast. And Grimoire of the Dead, 1 and tap, discard a card, put a study counter on this. Remove 3 study counters from it, sacrifice it, put all creature cards from all graveyards onto the battlefield under control. They're black zombies in addition to their other colours and types. It's a good way to recover from a board wipe or a very hefty attack that was costly or losing a lot from blocking. We've also got the Collector's Vault, a 2 mana artifact that has 2 and tap. Draw a card, then discard a card and make a treasure token. It triggers our commanders and also is a kind of little bit of ramp thrown in there as well. Zombie Infestation is 1 and a black for an enchantment that has discard 2 cards to make a 2/2 zombie creature token. The bigger price tag cards is Anointed Procession, 3 and a white for an enchantment that if an effect would create 1 or more tokens, it creates twice that many instead. I could only find it for about £80. It really needs a reprint. Forget doubling season, this one is the next on the list. Bone Miser, 4 and a black for a zombie wizard 4/4 that when we discard a creature card, we make a 2/2 black zombie. Whenever we discard a land, we get 2 mana, and whenever we discard a non-creature, non-land, we draw a card. So we're getting benefits from discarding cards, and also the last effect triggers our primary commander. Liliana Dreadhorde General is 4 black black for a planeswalker that has whenever a creature we control dies, draw a card, triggering our commander. +1 to make zombies. -4, each player sacrifices 2 creatures of their choice, which is indirect removal, but also draws 2 cards for us, so more +1/+1 for our zombies. And then the -9, each opponent chooses a permanent they control of each permanent type and sacrifice the rest, which will pretty much end the game. Undead Warchief is 2 black black for a zombie lord that is a 1/1. Zombie spells we play cost 1 generic less to play, and zombies we control get +2/+1. We have Unfulfilled Desires is a 1 blue black for an enchantment that has pay a generic mana and a life to draw a card and then discard a card, which will trigger both the primary and secondary commander. I've found it for about £20. That's purely because it's on the reserve list, but it is a very good way of setting our commanders off. Necroduality is 3 and a blue for an enchantment that whenever a non-token zombie enters, we can create a token that is a copy of that creature, which means when we finally don't discard our cards, we can actually cast our zombies for double the value. Some of the new cards, I haven't put prices because we're in pre-release season and prices are all over the place. But we have Crypt Caller Chariot, which is 3 and a black for a 5/5 vehicle, very similar to Esker's Chariot, even in the design. It has Menace and Crew too, and whenever we discard 1 or more cards, create that many tapped 2/2 black zombie creature tokens. Curse Cloth Wrappings, 2 black for an artifact. Zombies we control get +1/+1. And we can tap it. Target creature card in our graveyard gains Embalm into end of turn, and the Embalm cost is equal to its mana cost. So as long as we exile the creature that we're about to cast from the graveyard, we can make a token that is identical to it, except it has no mana cost and it's a 4/4 and white, in addition to its other types. Embalmed Descendant is 1 white/black for a zombie 1/2 with Start Your Engines, which is the new mechanic. Whenever this creature enters, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token, so it comes in with extra behind it. If we do hit max speed, whenever a creature we control dies, each opponent loses a life and we gain a life. And Zahur Glory's Past, a white and a black for a zombie capped warrior 3/2 with Start Your Engines. Sacrifice another creature to Surveil 1. Activate only once each turn. And when we hit max speed, whenever a non-token creature you control dies, create a tapped 2/2 black creature zombie token. So again, recovery from a board wipe or devastating blocks or removal. And if we do sacrifice a creature to save it from being exiled or something else, we can then reanimate it by making a token copy of our secondary commander. Otherwise, what upgrades are you shoving in this deck? Because it is an amazing deck and I have pre-ordered it at my LGS. I'm really looking forward to this zombie deck. But what cards would you add? How would you build it? And is there any cards that you could see coming straight out for the replacements? I'd love to read them in the comments. But otherwise, until next time, thanks very much.